And there's another divide and rule that people forget about. Me, me, me. What divides me from everything else is I'll only do what I think is right for me in the circumstances that I face. Why don't we start responding and reacting to situations on the basis of what is right and what is just and what is fair in that situation for all concerned, rather than what is right for me. Look in the eyes of your children, grandchildren, and tell them you can justify that. Why are you doing it? Because of me. My job, my money, my career. What about your humanity? What about your sense of decency? What are you doing? Me. That is what you're doing. And you're destroying everything decent by the obsession with self and your own desires and your own greed and your own self-indulgence. And are you going to bring this subject up yourself? No. Why? Me. How will it affect my career? But when people, not least through the efforts of others, have access to information about what's happening in the world and the direction it's going and what's at the end of this bloody rainbow unless we sort it out, and their only contribution is abusing each other on the fricking internet and trying to abuse and undermine those who've got the guts to stand up and actually do something, that is beyond the cesspit for me, and far worse than people that don't know doing nothing. Instead of arguing with each other, like forum bloody arguments between people you don't bloody know anyway, it's a bloody login name, and bloody trying to abuse people who are trying to do something, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself a question. What are you doing? And get off your arse and use your bloody time to make a difference, rather than just become another expression of the fricking problem. Oh, I've won the argument, he's not responded, bloody hell. Walk the talk or shut the fuck up.
The ego is the worst confidence trickster we could ever figure, we could ever imagine, because you don't see it.
And the single biggest con is, I am you.
The problem is that the ego hides in the last place that you'd ever look, within itself.
It disguises its thoughts as your thoughts, its feelings as your feelings. You think it's you.
People's need to protect their own egos knows no bounds. They will lie, cheat, steal, kill, do whatever it takes to maintain what we call ego boundaries.
People have no clue that they're in prison. They don't know that there is an ego. They don't know the distinction.
At first it's difficult for the mind to accept that there's something beyond itself, that there's something of greater value and greater capacity for discerning truth than itself.
In religion, the ego manifests as the devil. And of course, no one realizes how smart the ego is, because it created the devil so you could blame someone else.
In creating this imaginary external enemy, we usually made a real enemy for ourselves, and that becomes a real danger to the ego, but that's also the ego's creation.
There is no such thing as an external enemy, no matter what that voice in your head is telling you. All perception of an enemy is a projection of the ego as the enemy.
In that sense, you could say that 100% of our external enemies are of our own creation.
Your greatest enemy is your own inner perception, is your own ignorance, is your own ego.
I want to mention here that very often people mistakenly believe that egoistic feelings are negative, that one should have no ego at all. I think there are two types of ego, just as there are two types of desire. Of the two types of feeling of I, the feeling of strong I, that forgets about others' rights, and in which one considers oneself more important than others, is wrong. The other type of ego, that makes one feel, I can do this, I can help, I can serve, is positive. This kind of ego develops tremendous determination in people who possess it. For them, days, months, years, are nothing. They count eons,